Hi, this is Eric with Pure Vita Fitness. Continuing on with our body sculpting series here, we talked about legs, all the different parts of the legs. We talked about the upper back, we talked about chest. Now we're going to talk about shoulders. Nothing looks better than a nice pair of rounded shoulders. And I don't mean rounded like this posture. We're going to talk about shoulders back, develop the deltoids. And there's a good way you can train them, like we've done with everything. You can train them to look good, but also to function good. So we're going to talk about some exercises we can do here. We're going to start off with the basic overhead press. Now a lot of people will say they can't do overhead presses because this or that hurts. It's not necessarily the exercise. A lot of times it's how you're doing the exercise. So the way we teach a lot of overhead pressing here is we do one side at a time, and we go from a stride stance. A stride stance actually takes pressure off the spine, and we start in here in a stable position with the hand in. First thing you always want to do when you're going overhead is you want to draw your abs in. You want to just activate those abs. I'm going to activate my abs, and then I'm going to turn and press straight overhead. So my elbow, my shoulder, my wrist are straight overhead. My shoulder blade sits underneath like a shelf. I'm going to slowly come back, and I'm going to drive, activating my abs. If I don't activate my abs, I'm going to throw my low back into it. And if I don't activate my abs, sometimes I'll get my neck into it. So overhead press, turn, coming down slow, turn, coming down slow. Another thing that helps with that is as I can track my eyes with the movement, that helps my visual system track with my muscular system. I can have my eyes down as I come down and my eyes up as I come up. Try this, it actually works really, really well. This is using all your nervous system to work better and more efficiently with your muscle system. So overhead press, rotating, keep the thing close to your body so you're stable. I would say 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps on each side. The next exercise we can talk about is lateral raise. Now typically I see people do lateral raises and they're doing a shrug more than a lateral raise. So what you want to do is you want to set a good base, bend the hips and knees. Once again, the golden rule is lock your abs, set your shoulder blades down, shoulder height, and then float them down. Shoulder height, then float them down. So as I'm lifting up, my shoulders are kind of pulling down and in. I'm creating a shelf with my shoulder blades. And I'm going to hold here, and I'm going to come down slow. Notice how I'm not deviating with my neck. If you start to feel something in your neck, what you can do is put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. That kind of helps shut the neck down. But do these in front of a mirror. Make sure you're not doing the chicken where you're coming up and you're driving your neck forward. Part of good training, you should always maintain a neutral or straight spine. And that's going to help you maintain good cervical stability. A lot of times people talk about having a bad neck. Well, you watch their neck and it's all over the place when they're training. So use a weight. You don't need a lot of weight because you have a long lever here. That's going to be able to control your neck, and you're going to be able to set your shoulder blades. If you're shrugging or you're deviating at your neck or your low back, that means that's too much weight. You move the weight down. So that's going to work more of the medial delt, the lateral piece, and then we're going to focus on the rear delt. So in the rear delt, we can use some light dumbbells. Once again, we're going to set our butt back, long spine. And you might remember this from previous videos. This is our bent over position. We're going to start here, and then we're going to lock the abs, and we're going to pull out, and then come float down. Pull out, hold, float down. Now what I don't want to do is not lock my core and see my torso bouncing, and I don't want my head to drop. Same rules apply. We're just changing the angle to get a little more rear delt. If you can't get your body in control in that position, another way you can do it is to take a bench, angle it up about 45 degrees or so. If you feel like you're just that bent over position just isn't working for you, is you can start here and get a little support here. And this angle actually probably can come down a little bit. So make sure that angle you're going directly against gravity here, but you're not going to lay on the pad. This just allows me to really get at these rear delts. And a lot of times when we have rounded shoulders, we have really weak rear delts. So by keeping our rear delts and our upper back strong, we can help improve our posture, because then we have strength on the back and the front. Typically in programs, we're doing a lot of pushing, not enough pulling movements. So a great little shoulder delt routine: overhead presses, lateral raises, and then rear delts, either supported or unsupported, to kind of hit all those areas of the deltoid. Make sure you're not forgetting about your abs. Make sure your shoulder blades are involved. Make sure your neck is neutral. That's a great delt routine. 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps each exercise. That's our shoulder routine for the week. That's our tip of the week. We'll see you next week, and we'll talk about arms.